One with unlimited power, autocrat. One who walks on ropes, funambulist. An expert in writing by hand, chirographer. The doctor who attends to child delivery, obstetrician. The doctor who attends to corns in the feet and hands, chiropodist. The doctor who deals with the female reproductive system, gynecologist. The doctor who specializes in root canal and nerve treatment, endodontist. The doctor who straightens teeth, orthodontist. The doctor who treats bone problems, orthopedician. The doctor who treats eye diseases, ophthalmologist. The doctor who treats gums, periodontist. The doctor who treats heart problems, cardiologist. The doctor who treats skin diseases, dermatologist. One who is all-powerful, omnipotent. One who is all-knowing, omniscient. One who is present all over, omnipresent. One who can throw his voice, ventriloquist. One who talks while sleeping, somniloquist. One who takes part in dialogue or conversation, interlocutor. One who walks in sleep, somnambulist. One who walks at night, noctambulist. One who is violently against established beliefs and traditions, iconoclast. One who turns his thoughts inwards, introvert. One who turns his thoughts outwards, extrovert. One who is both inwards and outwards at times, ambivert. One who demands strict conformity to rules, martinet. One who believes in ruthless self-aggrandizement, egoist. One who doesn't consume alcohol, teetotaler. One who exhibits courage or fearlessness, intrepid. One who easily believes others, credulous. One who is capable of using both hands, ambidextrous. One who knows a lot about good food and wine, connoisseur. One who is beyond reform, incorrigible. Well known for bad qualities, notorious. Perfectly, highly skilled, reached the zenith of art, consummate. A shrewish loud-mouthed female, virago. One who is extravagantly romantic, chivalrous and impractical, quixotic. One who is a bootlicker, flatterer, sycophant. One who has keen interest in food and drinks, gourmet. Love for mankind, philanthropy. Someone who loves collecting books, bibliophile. One who loves and admires the British, Anglophile. One who loves without seriousness, philanderer. Fondness towards women, phylogeny. One who loves men, androphile. One who loves wisdom, hence pursues it, philosopher. One who hates men, misandrist. Madness or obsession with males, andromania. One who hates women, misogynist. One who hates mankind, misanthropist. One who loves his country, patriot. Excessive love for one's country, superpatriotism. One who hates marriage, misogamist. One who loves to speak, loquacious. Strong, deep dislike, antipathy. Simultaneously affected by similar feelings, sympathy. Mentally identifying oneself with other person or a thing, empathy. Something or someone makes you feel deep sadness or pity, pathetic. Related to marriage, matrimony. One who believes in the presence of God, theist. One who doesn't believe in the presence of God, atheist. One who believes in the theory of only one God, monotheist. One who believes in many gods, polytheist. One who believes that God is union of all forces of the universe, pantheist. Religious madness, theomania. Battle among the gods, theomachy. Practicing only one marriage, having only one wife, monogamy. Practicing two marriages, having two wives, bigamy. Practice of several marriages, having many wives, polygamy. Self-fertilization especially in plants, autogamy. Marriage within one's own tribe, endogamy. Marriage outside one's tribe, exogamy. Having several husbands, polyandry. People who have both male and female sexual organs, hermaphrodite. An inheritance from father, patrimony. A name framed after father's name, patronymic. Fatherhood, paternity. A father-like figure, patriarch. Government by one person, royal, monarchy. Government by two agencies, diarchy. Government by a few powerful people, oligarchy. Government by military class, stratocracy. Government by divine guidance, theocracy. Government by departments of state, bureaucracy. Government by nobility, aristocracy. Government by wealthy, plutocracy. Government by the people, democracy. A system of governing a country suggesting a father-child relation, paternalism. Government by one absolutely, autocracy. Absence of government, anarchy. A system ruled or controlled by men, patriarchy. The rule or control of mother, matriarchy. Self-rule or control, autonomy. The killing of one's husband, mariticide. The killing of parents, parricide. The killing of a whole race, genocide. The killing of a newborn child, infanticide. The killing of a king, regicide. The killing of a human being, homicide. The killing of oneself, suicide. The killing of a father, patricide. The killing of a mother, matricide. The killing of one's brother, fratricide. The killing of one's sister, sororicide. The killing of one's wife, exoricide. Morbid compulsion to keep on consuming alcohol, dipsomania. Morbid compulsion to steal, kleptomania. Morbid compulsion to steal books, bibliokleptomania. Morbid compulsion to start a fire, pyromania. Morbid delusion of power, importance or godliness, megalomania. Morbid, uncontrollable desire on the part of a woman, nymphomania. Morbid, uncontrollable desire on the part of a man, satyromania. Person with one-track mind, monomania. Compulsion to tell lies, mythomania. Madness with obsession with something, mania. Book containing all the published work of an author, omnibus. A written message from far-off place, telegraph. Informal, less grammatically rigid language, colloquial. Talking around, a method of talking indirectly, circumlocution. Generous, forgiving talk, magniloquent. Expressive in the use of words, eloquent. High-sounding pompous speech or writing, grandiloquent. A signature of a celebrity, signature of oneself, autograph. Walk beforehand or an introductory statement, preamble. Writing of one's life story, biography. Writing of one's own life story, autobiography. Written by light, photograph. Few words packed with meaning, concise, laconic. A speech to oneself, alone, soliloquy. A place for sun to enter where one can sunbathe, solarium. A glass container in which fish and other water animals can be kept, aquarium. A place for feet or speaker's platform, podium. The part of a theater where people who are watching and listening sit, auditorium. An optical device for projecting various celestial images and effects, planetarium. An establishment for the treatment of the chronically ill, sanatorium. A place where objects are exhibited, museum. Trees whose leaves fall every autumn, deciduous. That which falls upon, befalls, happens, incident. That which falls to someone or something, accident. That which falls on the western countries, occidental. The school or college one attends, alma mater. A self-moving vehicle, automobile. A machine that functions by itself, automatic. A baby carriage, perambulator. A carriage for sick people, ambulance. Living on all, omnivorous. Living on fruits, frugivorous. One who eat only fruits, fruitarian. One who eats no animal flesh, vegetarian. One who feeds on human flesh, cannibal. One who enjoys food with a sensual pleasure, gourmand. One whose eating habit is repulsive, glutton. Living on flesh, carnivorous. Living on grass, herbivorous. Living on fish, piscivorous. One who eats all kinds of food, omnivorous. A backward look or a view into the past, retrospect. A forward look or a view into future, prospect. Examine one's motives or look inwards, introspect. To examine carefully, inspect. A doubtful look or examination of one's motives, suspect. Careful, cautious watch on surroundings, circumspect. To walk aimlessly, amble. When two things befall together, coincident. A thing occurring again and again for a long time, chronic. Someone or something out of time, anachronism. To send out of one's native country, expatriate. To walk around a place especially in a ritual fashion, circumambulate. A highly accurate timepiece, chronometer. Make to happen at the same time, synchronize. An instrument which records short intervals of time, chronograph. Capable of moving in all directions, omnidirectional. List of phobias. Fear of itching or of insects causing itching, acarophobia. Fear of open spaces, agoraphobia. Fear of crossing busy streets, agoraphobia. Fear of flying or drafts, aerophobia. Fear of heights, acrophobia. Fear of sharp or pointed objects, ichthyophobia. Fear of cats, ailurophobia. Fear of pain, algophobia. Fear of dust, amathophobia. Fear of riding in a car, amaxophobia. Fear of walking, ambulophobia. Fear of England or the English, anglophobia. Fear of humans, anthrophobia. Fear of staying single, anuptophobia. Fear of water, aquaphobia. Fear of peanut butter sticking to roof of mouth, arachibutyrophobia. Fear of spiders, arachnophobia. Fear of being struck by lightning, astrophobia. Fear of thunder and lightning, astropophobia. Fear of being dirty, automysophobia. Fear of solitude, autophobia. Fear of missiles, ballistophobia. Fear of falling from a high place, bathophobia. Fear of heights or being close to tall buildings, batophobia. Fear of frogs and toads, batrachophobia. Fear of pins and needles, balonophobia. Fear of books, bibliophobia. Fear of slime, blenophobia. Fear of thunder and lightning, brontophobia. Fear of cancer, cancerophobia. Fear of sitting, cathysophobia. Fear of empty spaces, xenophobia. Fear of money, crematophobia. Fear of or distaste for food, sibophobia. Fear of closed space, claustrophobia. Fear of falling downstairs, climacophobia. Fear of staying in bed, clinophobia. Fear of cliffs and precipices, cremnophobia. Fear of computers, cyberphobia. Fear of dogs, cynophobia. Fear of crossing streets, dromophobia. Fear of physical deformities, dysmorphophobia. Fear of home ecophobia. Fear of freedom, aleutherophobia. Fear of dawn, eosophobia. Fear of work, ergasiophobia. Fear of work, ergophobia. Fear of sex, erotophobia. Fear of red lights or of blushing, erythrophobia. Fear of good news, euphobia. Fear of France or the French, francophobia. Fear of morbid fear or abhorrence of the French, or of what is French, gallophobia. Fear of marriage, gamophobia. Fear of chins, geniophobia. Fear of sex, genophobia. Fear of growing old, gerascophobia. Fear of writing, graphophobia. Fear of nudity, gymnophobia. Fear of sunlight, heliophobia. Fear of snakes, herpetophobia. Fear of sacred things, hierophobia. Fear of fog, homiclophobia. Homophobia, fear of homosexuals. Hydrophobia, fear of water. Hypsophobia, fear of high places. Iatrophobia, fear of going to the doctor. Iconophobia, fear or hatred of images. Kenotophobia, fear of change. Kakaraphophobia, fear of failure. Kenophobia, fear of empty spaces. Ligorophobia, fear of loud noises. Linonophobia, fear of string. Ligophobia, fear of darkness. Lissophobia, fear of hydrophobia. Macrophobia, fear of prolonged waiting. Metrophobia, fear of poetry. Monophobia, fear of being alone. Muriphobia, fear of mice. Myophobia, fear of mice. Mysophobia, fear of contamination or dirt. Nebulophobia, fear of fog. Necrophobia, fear of corpses. Negrophobia, fear of blacks. Neophobia, fear of novelty. Nosophobia, fear of disease. Novocaphobia, fear of one's stepmother. Nyctophobia, fear of the night or darkness. Ochlophobia, fear of crowds. Enophobia, fear or hatred of wine. Ombrophobia, fear of rain. Onomatophobia, fear of hearing a certain word. Ophidiophobia, fear of snakes. Ophthalmophobia, fear of being stared at. Optophobia, fear of opening one's eyes. Ornithophobia, fear of birds. Pedophobia, fear of children, fear of dolls. Panophobia, melancholia marked by groundless fears. Pantophobia, fear of everything. Parthophobia, fear of virgins. Pathophobia, fear of disease. Pediculophobia, fear of lice. Pantheraphobia, fear or hatred of one's mother-in-law. Phagophobia, fear of eating. Fungophobia, fear of daylight. Phonophobia, fear of noise or of speaking aloud. Photophobia, fear of light. Pogonophobia, fear of beards. Psychrophobia, fear of the cold. Pteronophobia, fear of being tickled by feathers. Pyrophobia, fear of fire. Russophobia, fear of Russia or Russians. Satanophobia, fear of the devil. Sciophobia, fear of shadows. Scopophobia, fear of being looked at. Scoptophobia, fear of being looked at. Scotophobia, fear of the dark. Citiophobia, fear of food. Cytophobia, fear of food or eating. Spectrophobia, fear of looking in a mirror. Symmetrophobia, fear of symmetry. Syphilophobia, fear of syphilis. Taphophobia, fear of being buried alive. Technophobia, fear of technology. Thalassophobia, fear of the sea. Thanatophobia, fear of death. Theophobia, fear of God. Tocophobia, fear of pregnancy or childbirth. Tonitrophobia, fear of thunder. Topophobia, fear of performing, fear of certain places. Toxicophobia, fear of poisoning. Toxiphobia, fear of poison or being poisoned. Triskaidekaphobia, fear of the number 13. Uranophobia, fear of heaven. Xenophobia, fear of foreigners. Xelophobia, fear of jealousy. Zoophobia, fear of animals. Ablutomania, mania for washing oneself. Abulomania, pathological indecisiveness. Agromania, intense desire to be in open spaces. Andromania, nymphomania. Anglomania, craze or obsession with England and the English. Anthomania, obsession with flowers. Aphrodisiamania, abnormal sexual interest. Arithmomania, obsessive preoccupation with numbers. Balletomania, abnormal fondness for ballet. Bibliomania, craze for books or reading. Bruxomania, compulsion for grinding teeth. Cacodemomania, pathological belief that one is inhabited by an evil spirit. Catopedomania, obsession with jumping from high places. Chinomania, obsession with collecting china. Choreomania, dancing mania or frenzy. Clinomania, excessive desire to stay in bed. Copromania, obsession with feces. Cytheromania, nymphomania. Dacnomania, obsession with killing. Demonomania, pathological belief that one is possessed by demons. Dinomania, mania for dancing. Dipsomania, abnormal craving for alcohol. Discomania, obsession for disco music. Diramania, obsession with owning furs. Doromania, obsession with giving gifts. Drapetomania, intense desire to run away from home. Dromomania, compulsive longing for travel. Ecdemomania, abnormal compulsion for wandering. Egomania, irrational self-centered attitude or self-worship. Eleutheromania, manic desire for freedom. Ampliomania, mania for holding public office. Anoshimania, pathological belief that one has sinned. Entheomania, abnormal belief that one is divinely inspired. Epomania, craze for writing epics. Ergasiamania, excessive desire to work. Ergomania, workaholism. Erotomania, abnormally powerful sex drive. Atheromania, craving for ether. Ethnomania, obsessive devotion to one's own people. Eulogomania, obsessive craze for eulogies. Flagellomania, abnormal enthusiasm for flogging. Floromania, craze for flowers. Francomania, craze or obsession with France and the French. Gallomania, craze or obsession with France and the French. Gomomania, obsession with issuing odd marriage proposals. Grecomania, obsession with Greece and the Greeks. Hellenomania. Graphomania, obsession with writing. Gynecomania, abnormal sexual obsession with women. Habromania, insanity featuring cheerful delusions. Hagiomania, mania for sainthood. Hexametromania, mania for writing in hexameter. Hieromania, pathological religious visions or delusions. Hippomania, obsession with horses. Hydromania, irrational craving for water. Hylomania, excessive tendency towards materialism. Hypomania, severe mania. Hypomania, minor mania. Hysteromania, nymphomania. Iconomania, obsession with icons or portraits. Idolomania, obsession or devotion to idols. Infomania, excessive devotion to accumulating facts. Islomania, craze or obsession for islands. Italomania, obsession with Italy or Italians. Kleptomania, irrational predilection for stealing. Clopemania, kleptomania. Logomania, pathological loquacity. Lipomania, extreme pathological mournfulness. Macromania, delusion that objects are larger than natural size. Megalomania, abnormal tendency towards grand or grandiose behavior. Melomania, craze for music. Methomania, morbid craving for alcohol. Metromania, insatiable desire for writing verse. Micromania, pathological self-deprecation or belief that one is very small. Monomania, abnormal obsession with a single thought or idea. Morphinomania, habitual craving or desire for morphine. Musomania, obsession with music. Mythomania, lying or exaggerating to an abnormal extent. Narcomania, uncontrollable craving for narcotics. Necromania, sexual obsession with dead bodies. Necrophilia. Nosomania, delusion of suffering from a disease. Nostomania, abnormal desire to go back to familiar places. Enomania, obsession or craze for wine. Oligomania, obsession with a few thoughts or ideas. Enyomania, mania for making purchases. Onomamania, mania for names. Onomatomania, irresistible desire to repeat certain words. Onychotillomania, compulsive picking at the fingernails. Opiumania, craving for opium. Opsomania, abnormal love for one kind of food. Orchidomania, abnormal obsession with orchids. Parausiomania, obsession with the second coming of Christ. Pathomania, moral insanity. Piatillomania, abnormal compulsion for pulling on the penis. Phagomania, excessive desire for food or eating. Phaneromania, habit of biting one's nails. Pharmacomania, abnormal obsession with trying drugs. Phonomania, pathological tendency to murder. Photomania, pathological desire for light. Philomania, excessive or abnormal production of leaves. Phytomania, obsession with collecting plants. Planomania, abnormal desire to wander and disobey social norms. Plutomania, mania for money. Polemomania, mania for war. Politicomania, mania for politics. Polkamania, craze for polka dancing. Polymania, mania affecting several different mental faculties. Poriomania, abnormal compulsion to wander. Pornomania, obsession with pornography. Potichomania, craze for imitating oriental porcelain. Potomania, abnormal desire to drink alcohol. Pseudomania, irrational predilection for lying. Pterodomania, passion for ferns. Pyromania, craze for starting fires. Rhinotilexomania, compulsive nose-picking. Rincomania, obsession with skating. Satyromania, abnormally great male sexual desire. Satyriasis. Scribblomania, obsession with scribbling. Sebastomania, religious insanity. Cytiomania, morbid aversion to food. Sophomania, delusion that one is incredibly intelligent. Squandermania, irrational propensity for spending money wastefully. Stampomania, obsession with stamp collecting. Syphilomania, pathological belief that one is afflicted with syphilis. Technomania, craze for technology. Teutomania, obsession with Teutonic or German things. Thanatomania, belief that one has been affected by death magic and resulting illness. Theatromania, craze for going to plays. Theomania, belief that one is a god. Timbromania, craze for stamp collecting. Tomomania, irrational predilection for performing surgery. Toxicomania, morbid craving for poisons. Trichotillomania, neurosis where patient pulls out own hair. Tulipomania, obsession with tulips. Typhomania, delirious state resulting from typhus fever. Typomania, craze for printing one's lucubration. Uranomania, obsession with the idea of divinity. Verbomania, craze for words. Xenomania, inordinate attachment to foreign things. Zoomania, insane fondness for animals.